how would you like to do your hobby for a living, and and work with somebody else, like working with her, we're bringing the brand out of ourselves. So the people know us very well, and then it also goes into our business called Ordinary to Extraordinary Life or Hotel Productions.
And
But it
talking,
came from the inside out,
Mhm.
just like what you said.
Nice, nice, nice. So, want to tell the viewers a little bit about the your guys' business? You know, what's the base premise of it, and what's your vision?
What do we do?
Well, like Trevor said, we're Ordinary to Extraordinary Life Hotel Productions, and we decided to reach out to the music community in the Jacksonville area and surrounding cities because we saw a need where the musicians were not having, they didn't have a tool that they could use to promote themselves and to also be able to see themselves in important ways to improve and better themselves as well as individuals and as a group.
So basically, what all the musicians really had in this area access to be able to promote themselves was Facebook and cell phone videos and pictures from professional and amateur photographers, but it didn't really represent them that well, and it wasn't very professional. So we saw a need there to actually be able to create, film and create the tools, the promo that the bands needed to be able to promote themselves. It's there's quite a bit of competition, and going in with a cell phone video to try to promote your band, it really isn't a very good representation of the band. So we decided to fill that slot and do their social media and do their photography.
And this area is very big for music. A lot of well-known bands have come out of here, and so we seem to be coming in at a time where the music scene is starting to build up again. And so we want to provide, and we do provide, a service that is not only good for the bands and the musicians, but for the venues as well. And more venues are opening as a result of what we're doing, creating more uh, visibility for the bands. And so there's a
And for the venues.
and for the venues, right? So it's kind of a win. It's really a win-win for everyone. And as the bands, as more videos are put out there and demos, there's more need to fill the bands and venues. So then more venues are starting to open, and it's just kind of expands like a ripple in the pond. It's kind of cool to watch.
Nice, nice. And I mean, you guys rolled right into like the next question I wanted to talk about. What is the motivation for doing the business? And it sounds like right there you captured that motivation that that area was looking for a need for up and coming artists. And um, you know my viewers, I hope that there are people who are artists and other people are trying to motivate themselves that artists need other artists to fulfill the need to get where they want to be. We need each other no matter what. And you guys are definitely setting an example of how what it takes to fulfill a need for other artists to grow. So with that motivation and you guys going ahead and taking down that path, how has it changed, the artists that you work with? What kind of perspective has changed for them? What kind of, has it helped them get more events since they've been working with you guys?
We, interesting enough, cooperating with other artists, which we're artists too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we take four cameras, sync them together, and create a production that goes from camera to camera. So the cooperation internally is there. The other part of the cooperation is actually we learn from the musicians. The musicians learn from us. And as we go, everybody improves. So it's cooperation. And you're also an artist, and
Mm-hmm.
you're cooperating with several people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that you found when you do that, you increase the talent and knowledge of each other while you're doing it.
Yes, very true.
What I see is that the musicians improve on all levels. So it allows them, when they see themselves in our videos, to see a different perspective of who they are as a musician individually, as well as in the band as a whole. And what we're finding is not only are they using the videos that we do as a tool to promote themselves, but also what can they do to improve, and then they want to come back through for another video shoot to show that improvement. So it's really for personal and professional growth. And I see that they become stronger, they become more vibrant. We've noticed, and they may not realize this, but they're much more active on the stage when they've had a video done, or once they start to see the videos being produced and you happen to go out and see them again. There's changes, and some of them can be slight and some of them can be really big.
And interesting enough, the venues, which are the establishments that provide the stage for the musicians to play, since we started doing what's called a play for production program, that's where the band comes in and plays for 4 hours. They don't get paid. The venue or business, they pay us to do a production for them that's worth a lot more than what we get paid or the band would have got paid. The venues also, those businesses and the people in their business, they also learn from that and start finding out the better lighting that it can do, the more attractive the stage can be, how to better promote upcoming events so more people show up. The bands learn about it, how to promote themselves better so more people show up. We learn about it so that we know how to promote better. It all works together.
Nice, very nice. And I think no matter what art focus you come from, as you guys well know, I come from a dance focus. And I've been very lucky to work with amazing dancers, DJs, MCs, recording artists, painters. And every meeting that you work with, you get a little bit of a different perspective of how to look at your own art and how to approach it. And it starts to rub up on you. And you carry some more knowledge because you go into the next project, you realize it's like, wow, I can add something what I learned from these guys and add it to my project and see how I can enhance it to grow. I think that's a beautiful thing that what you guys are doing. Again, without each other, it's that same thing we talk about in hip hop. Each one teach one. We pass it on to the next person so we continue the art to grow.
Exactly. And the one thing that we've come to understand that works for us is we don't compete. So if somebody came to us and said, hey, I'd really like to know how you do this, we give that information. And if we find that when they find something that's good information that could help us improve, they give it to us. So we end up helping each other do a better job. There's other people that do things like what we do, and we don't compete with them. They actually refer business to us, because if they run into a spot where they feel like that we would be more qualified, then they send the client to us. So, and if we run into something that's just something that we don't have the time, or we're not the right people for it, then we refer the people to them for photographs or production, whatever they do. It's cooperation, not competition.
Yes, very nice. Very nice, very nice. So, we're going to keep rolling with this interview. Now, a lot of positive things that has happened with you guys since, you guys started on this journey. Do you have any regrets as you guys, embarked on this business?
I'll answer for me. I have zero.
Okay.
I really love what I do. I momentarily thought, do I regret that I took this long to start doing this, and I don't regret, because I think everything works out in the time that it's supposed to. However, it would have been nice to start this 10 years ago,
maybe 20 years ago.
maybe 20 years ago. So if somebody's listening that they have a real passion about something and they're not doing it, they're doing something totally different, they're kind of bored and don't like to be where they're at, I would recommend that they really explore and take steps towards what their passion really is.
For me, no regrets, because it's been an interesting journey. I'm actually hearing impaired, so it's kind of a little ironic that someone who has a 60% hearing loss is actually in the videography business. So my perspective on this is I'm a creative autistic person by nature, and I approach it from that perspective because I can hear, but I don't have the specifics that he has, the depth of being able to really hear the music. I hear it through my visual. And so I always enjoyed music growing up, but it was never like a passion. So my passion is more bringing that creative autistic part of me into the music and bringing that as an art form through the videography that I do in photography. So I can't say there's any regrets, because I didn't know I had this skill until now that I'm in this process. So for me, it's almost like a new beginning. It's a new adventure, and I'm actually going to start producing.
So she's going to start learning how to take 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras and on a production and edit that from camera to camera. One of the things, I put an amp on her camera that could blow the earballs out of a squirrel. So she can hear if she has to, but it's not the same as what you and I hear. What the advantage that she has is, as long as she can hear the beat, and she knows from studying the musicians what instrument's going to play next. She is very good at the visual, being where she needs to be with that camera at the right time. Mm-hmm. She has an advantage over some other people because her visual is better.
And probably just like, as we know, our other senses kicks in, and art and music also has a vibration. So you can feel the energy of the music when it changes, and when the position of the music changes, or when the artist changes. It's a very natural thing that you also connect with, with the camera and the visual aspect, is feeling the energy when the music really starts to build. You can feel it within your body. It's the same thing we do with dance. You know what I'm saying? That's how we change tempo within our body, because we can hear the energy of the music start to build, and our movement starts to move faster. So it's that same connection that happens.
Exactly. And interesting enough, the vibration is also physical, because when we're at a concert venue and we're running cameras up front, those subwoofers and speakers literally vibrate you.
And on that, yes, and on that note, as far as being energy and feeling it, I'm at a point now where I can feel when the music's going to change, or when a note's going to change, or when it's going to go from one musician. It's almost like I'm a step ahead of what's about to come. So that really helps me a lot with knowing where I need to start taking my camera. So a lot of times I can capture a really valuable moment where a musician is doing something that is, whether it's a solo part or a shift that is kind of slight, but from our perspective, it's pretty critical and important. So I'm noticing that I'm capturing, when I pan or I zoom, I'm getting those really important moments that you can't get again, but I'm getting it with the camera, which is kind of cool.
And I don't think that either one of us do this or agree that we do it if it really wasn't a passion. Something being an internal passion. Everybody that we have seen following an internal passion for something and actually acting on it are highly successful. And when you first start something, you're not going to be highly successful monetarily, but you will grow really fast, get more skilled at what you do really fast. And then the income that is derived from that also goes up. I don't want to say that it's all about income as far as we're concerned. The income is a byproduct. It's just deserved for what we do.
That is, I don't mean to interrupt, Trevor. That is a great point. It's something that I also, try to teach and preach when I'm working with other artists, is to follow that passion, and everything else will fall into place. I think people really got it twisted as an artist that, you kind of put the monetary first before the art. I don't think there is no amount of money that you can place on the creative process, because I think the value comes in the journey of creating the art, because it happens. The art itself, once you present it, no matter if it's in a dance form, a videography form, or a music form, that presentation goes so fast. But the journey to create the presentation is what you remember the most.
Exactly. And another thing that we found about this is that sometimes as artists, we're not maybe as social as some other people. And that is we found that to be a huge key, that to be social with people that are interested in things like what you do, that you actually have to be out there. And what happens is after people see your art, your behavior, how you relate to them for a period of time, then you become important in their mind as far as whatever it is that you do. And then people will start asking you, well, can you do this? Would you do this? What would it cost to do this? People actually start pursuing you. You don't have to pursue them, but you have to be visible.
Well, it's about creating quality, credibility, and through the experience that we create, not only for ourselves, but for those that we do the videos for, the venues, even the fans. It's creating that whole ripple effect, so that everything that's part of that process and part of that journey becomes a value for everyone, not just for the musicians, not just for us, but for the people who come and support the venues and the musicians. So it's the value is a very important piece. If someone doesn't see value in something, then they're not going to respect what you're doing. And we have come up against that, where for some reason someone did not value what we had to offer. But because of that, the band lost out, the venue lost out, we lost out, and a new potential customer venue lost out. So it all depends on,
we don't really worry about things like that, because it runs at about, for artists, you're going to have, if you're very social, care about people, and you do good work, you're only going to run maybe 2% of people that it's just whatever you do isn't for them. And that's not a big deal.
Great.
Something the more videos that you put out on what you do, your name gets out there even more. And obviously you've gone to the social side of it. You're sharing with other people, talking to us, and that also brings more people to be interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, it's all about collaboration work. I've learned that be it through dance or any other art form that I've done, your success, I quote unquote success rate, or your longevity, I'd rather say longevity and success rate, is collaborative work. You know, not only in your genre, but crossing over to other genres of art and working with other artists that look at art differently than you do. And I have found that's been my way of staying longevity within art by crossing over and doing different projects and working with different people and learning from different venues and different perspectives. And I've gotten to a place now where I want to share those experiences with people. You know, they've always seen the end of the product, you know, either the show or the video or something like that. You know, I want to take them in the inside and, you know, let them listen to the behind the scenes and what it takes to get to those places. Because I've always told people, especially with dance, you'll work 3 months to be on stage for 3 minutes. You know, dancing on stage, people say it's only 3 minutes. No, for 3 minutes is a very long time. You're moving constantly, but you will train for 3 months just to get on stage for 3 minutes. And again, what we talked about earlier, having that process, that's where you learn. That's where you grow. That's where you go through the ups and downs of those 3 months, because it's never perfect. And, you know, your ideas change and your vision always changes. But the beauty of what I've learned is once you get to that day of, it's kind of the birth of the project, you get to sit back and enjoy that journey that you went through. And to people want to share that. They want to see, they just don't want to see the end product. They want to see your ups and downs, the sweat. And this is my way of kind of taking people on the inside a little bit. And like, this is the things I talk about with people that I respect and artists and what they do before you see the final product go out to the world.
I think it's great. And quite frankly, to fall down a few times and other people get to see it, it lets other people know that, well, they have a chance to be able to do it too. So it's really actually encouragement.
And that's what our videos do. You know, we film all different levels of bands, you know, where they are, and we give the people who are just starting out just as much opportunity as those who have been in the music industry for 30, 40 plus years. And it doesn't matter what level they're at in their playing and being together. Everybody learns. Everybody gains something from watching themselves and others.
And interesting enough, they fall down too.
They do.
and they're falling down in front of a crowd, in front of cameras, and all of a sudden, what's the words to this song will happen. That's when you go, no, okay, I'm on my way now. Yeah. And that song's blown, you know, as far as the production, though we can use part of it for a demo. But it helps them learn if there's an area they need to work in. It also, and these guys are never negative about it. They're just going, they'll just say, I blew it. I'm sure you encounter the same thing dancing.
Oh yeah. I've had those moments where just be right on stage and all the movement just leaves my mind, and I'm standing there going, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then it just comes back, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm back. Yes, I've had those moments many a times on stage.
Exactly. You know, some you mentioned earlier that I thought was interesting were in art, there's times you'll encounter somebody else, what they're producing, and maybe you don't like it. You know, it doesn't fit your style. That's something else that we're learning from. If I look at somebody else's video production and I don't like something in it, I'll find out later that I'll actually end up using it. So a particular move, well, I don't know if I like that, and then you end up experimenting with it, and you end up adding it to what you do.
Some of the students that I had through dance that gave me the most problems, I ended up being the closest with in the end. It's been very interesting. Now I look back, you know, I can probably count about 3 or 4 students that I'm just like, oh. And then later on, I was like, wow, this kid turned out to be a really cool kid, you know, a really cool dude later on, you know. So you're right. You never know why certain things come into your presence, you know, as an artist, just to poke at you to see how much you need to grow as an artist.
Exactly. It's you know what, we can be really great for being pushed by somebody that comes up with something that we're just not familiar with, or maybe doesn't comfortable at first. Uh, but we're grateful for that because it causes us to explore and look at why that person chose that method, or why they decided to portray their talent that way. And we usually kind of figure it out, and we'll take and add the good parts that we feel is good to what we do.
And you know what else I've learned with that is when you do collaborative work, trust the beauty and the artistry of both artists. That's probably been one of my successfulest things of working with other people, is like, I'm gonna put my best foot in because I know they're gonna put their best foot in. There's no questioning each other, because when you do that, that's when I feel you get great work.
Exactly.
It's about the trust factor is about the collaboration from the heart and doing what we each do best in the moment, knowing that there's always room to improve and to become better. And with that, everybody gets uplifted. So we're all about inspiring. We want these videos to inspire those that we work with to see themselves as a shining light, to see themselves as that spark within is coming through their music, through their instruments.
And we want them to inspire us.
Which they do.
And that does happen.
They do, yeah. They're all great people. And, the music is just amazing, and to hear the diversity and the differences, and everybody has their strengths and some weaknesses, but as a result of what we're doing, the music in this area is becoming actually stronger. And Trevor mentioned the other day, he's recognizing a lot of the bands are now supporting each other in different ways, online, in person, and so there's a real synergy that's going on. It's really nice to watch.
Very nice, very nice. I don't want to keep you beautiful people too long. I got one more question I'd love to ask you guys. If you could give the viewers one piece of advice for starting out their brand or a project, what piece of advice would you give them?
For us, what's worked is we did a lot of charity work in the beginning, which gave us some practice in what we do. It put us in a position of being exposed to people that are interested in the type of things that we do. So we didn't come out, just right out of the chute saying, okay, these productions are worth $1,500 each production. And even though we might have been capable of producing as good as what was there at the time, we still paid our dues as far as we practiced. We got to know the people. We were in the places that we needed to be, visual all the time. And one of the biggest things is, love those people. When you're mixing with them and sharing in the things that are interesting to them, love them. Get to know them.
My piece of advice is to create your vision and match that vision with your passion. And don't let anything try to stop you or get in your way, and just keep pushing forward no matter what. And trust and have faith in yourself, and know that if this is what you really want to do, you can do it. You can achieve it. And just celebrate the small milestones as well as the big ones.
And if you get an idea, take action on it. And while you're taking action on it, if it doesn't look like it's going to go right, change the action.
But don't give up.
Don't stay with something that's not working. Look at it, change it, take a different direction with it. But always look at your end goal. one of the things that we've done real quick is we look at where we want to be. So we want to be here. We actually start there and work backwards to figure how we're going to get to there. And then
Yes, I like that.
take action on stuff that feels good. And if it's working successfully, we keep doing it. If it turns out that the idea wasn't perfected all the way, then we change it.
Or we step back and we reassess, and then we move forward with a different direction. So
Nice. Well, nice. I want to thank you guys. I don't want to keep you too much. I know you guys are busy behind the camera, behind the scenes, making beautiful projects happen. You guys, again, this is Trevor and Eileen with Ordinary to Extraordinary Life. I will go ahead and leave all their information in my description down below. They have a Facebook page, YouTube channel. Is that right, Trevor? YouTube channel as well?
yes.
Yes, I'll go ahead and leave all their information down below. I have done a project with them before. Eileen has helped me through some transitions as an artist, to kind of refocus myself. She has a beautiful gift with that. And I thank her. Eileen helped me even, from artist to artist and, friend to friend to get to this place and believing in what I can achieve. And actually planted a seed in my head that I could possibly be doing something like this. And so I wanted to honor Trevor and Eileen for, helping me, during my transition time and allowing me to hold the space with you guys to, help make Just Being Me TV possible. So I want to thank you guys from me. Thank you.
I'm very happy to be doing this with you.
Yes,
Cool.
thank you.
Thank you.
We're glad
All
that we part of you getting to where you are now.
Thank you. All right. Well, you two beautiful people, have a great day. Again, this is Just Being Me TV. Keep it hot, keep it locked. More to come. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye,
Okay.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.